Good morning everyone, Car and Biker here, and it's a Saturday morning ride for me today. I'm just heading out to the Humber Bridge, to the car park. For an extra IAM thing. It's not an official session. I've had 4 sessions now on the observed rides, and things seem to be starting to fall into place. Quite interesting. Really enjoying it. But my observer is going on holiday for a cruise around the Mediterranean. Lucky him. For a fortnight, which means no observed rides for me for a fortnight, at least not with him. I mean, the senior observer has said that if I want to give him a call, he will happily go out for an observed ride with me. But seeing as those observed rides have this £80 business, this £80 covers you for 8 observed rides and your test, and it's the that £80 goes to petrol for the observer, because the observers are volunteers. Essentially, I suppose it's a tenner a session, which isn't too bad at all, really. And when you compare that to what it would be if you're having a driving lesson or something like that, or when you're learning to ride a motorcycle. And when I was learning to ride it, I was paying 35 quid an hour, so by comparison, £10 is pretty good. Anyway, that's by the by. This session today is actually an open session for anybody. You don't have to be an IAM member, or as I am, an IAM associate member, because I haven't done my test yet. Any members of the public can turn up, and it's really just about, well, I suppose it's 2 things. It's helping people improve the riding in general without having to be part of the IAM, and I guess it's a good advert for the IAM at the same time. And it's also a bit of practice for the observers and what have you. And they're calling it, what do they call it? An improver session. So basically what they're saying is anybody who wants to go can turn up 10 o'clock at the Humber Bridge. And obviously that's not IAM wide, that's just for the whole one. And I'm sure they have these sessions all over the place, IAM wise. Oh, look at that. You don't see them very often, do you? Bicycle made for 2. I'm afraid, Dave. More film references for you there. Yeah, so I thought I'll go along to this. Anybody can go, get an observer to watch you, give you some hints and tips and what have you. And from my point of view, it's kind of a filler-inner while my observer's away. They also do sessions on a Wednesday, which I think I'm probably going to go to a couple of. Those are for observer training. So they just ask anybody again to come along to those. Associate members, full members, just people in general. To go along and be observed, because the observers obviously need to practice too, and need to be trained up into how to be observers. So I think I'll be doing those for the next couple of Wednesdays as well, in the absence of my observer. Again, just a bit of practice with somebody watching you. It's good to practice anyway, obviously, but practicing by yourself, you're not picking up on the bits that you don't know you're doing wrong. So the bits I already know I'm doing wrong, where I'll get my positioning wrong or miss something and afterwards I'll kick myself, that's not so bad. But the ones where I don't know I'm getting it wrong, those are the ones I need to look out for, and I need an observer to help with, because those are the ones that are more likely to trip me up when I come to do my test. If you haven't done any IAM stuff before, heartily recommend it, as I've probably already said, depending on what order I upload my videos in. Pretty hopeless with that. But these sessions are probably a good starting point without you actually having to spend any money at all. If you want to find them, all you need to do is go onto the IAM website, and there's a page on there somewhere, and I'm not entirely sure where, but there's a page on there somewhere that allows you to find your local IAM club, whatever they call it, chapter. But find your local group, that's the word I was looking for. Find your local IAM group. And I would imagine probably all of them have got their own website. I know the Hull one has. Go and find that website, and it'll probably have an events calendar on, and you'll see when those rides are. As I say, for the Hull one, it's really easy. There's just a calendar, and you can flick through the months, and every time there's an event on, there's a block that you can point at, and it tells you what it is. And if you're interested, you can click on it and go and see the detail. As I say, I'm sure other groups will be the same. If the IAM haven't provided a template website, then something's very wrong, isn't it? Anyway, I'll leave it there. I might get some video from the ride out, but then again, there'll be a lot of bikes there, and I'm sure some of them won't want recording. I don't want to upset anybody, so there probably won't be any clips unless something funny happens. So I'll just stop now, say thank you all for watching. Ride safe, everyone, and I'll talk to you all again soon. Well, that was frustrating. Just come down the motorway, doing a bit of a motorway section, and I was using the middle lane as the policeman told me on the bike safe, and the enhanced rider told me on the bike safe, and I got picked up on it this time. So I don't know if it's an IAM thing or just the person I'm out with or what, but it does seem odd that the police would say don't use the near side lane unless there's something coming up behind you, and then the IAM would say use the near side lane unless you need to get out of it for some reason. It would be nice if we could have a situation where everybody sang from the same hymn sheet. Well, the rain god hasn't struck today,
I wish I'd taken the lining out of my jacket. It's rusted hot. This bit of road we've just been going up and down it is beautiful. Awesome piece of road. Just another run down this nice road behind Brian ahead of me on the pan with 111,000 miles on it, and then we're off for some lunch. Tell why it's hot. Beautiful sunshine, no wind whatsoever. You can see from the turbines, not even moving. Good that.
Alright. Any comments?
I mean, it's interesting seeing how you straight line in a lot of the bends.
Perfectly clear. There's nothing. I mean, you could see everything coming. That last one, there was a van coming, but I saw that and I was back before I got near it. Come on down here.
Definitely going to come back to this road for some practice. Very, very much fun. You're watching the chap who was behind, Brian, and also these two that are ahead of me straight lining. So I had a quick word with the senior chap about that. And it seems there are some inconsistencies, not just within IAM and all the other advanced ones, but between police as well. So he was saying, I said, should you do that on your test? And he was saying, it depends which policeman is following you. Which is an interesting one. So he was saying, always ask them beforehand, are you alright with me straight lining? Which does beg the question about consistency again. If even the people who are essentially the examiners can't agree on it, it does make you wonder. Get off your phone. That's a bizarre mentality. I've reached a junction and there's a few bikes coming, so I'm going to have to stop. I'll just quick text. What's that all about?
The cafe's closed that we were going to go to.
Ah.
You've got temperature on there?
Of the outside air or of the bike?
Yeah, outside air.
No,
Yeah.
just the bike.
27.4 coming down there.
It feels more than that.
It is, doesn't it?
Well, that's the end of the improver ride. And that was a really good ride. Brilliant road. I've done about, must be about 80 miles. Couple of cups of coffee. Got a few more hints and tips. As I said, though, a little bit disappointed that different observers handle things in different ways. But the most important thing being that the observer that's been assigned to me has been showing me it in exactly the same way as the senior chap, the national observer. So I'm going to stick with that rather than a couple of bits that he told me differently today. One being when you're changing speed limit has been a good example. So if you go from say 30 to a 60 or something like that, and the guy today was saying a quick glance in the mirrors is good enough, whereas the observer that's assigned to me and the national observer both say proper shoulder check before you change your speed limit, just in case somebody has decided to accelerate a little bit early, steal a bit and get into your blind spot. So I'm going to carry on doing that. But good little ride out, first group ride out I've done with IAM people. About 8 to 10 people today, so it varied. Overall pretty good. So heading back home now, go and dry out from the copious amounts of sweat. I think I've probably lost about a pound. Very, very hot. So I'll just say thank you for watching. Ride safe everyone, and I'll talk to you all again soon.